sounds not very appetizing to me at all.
Well, a Florida, okay, congressman wishes a happy birthday to the U.S. Navy, and he puts a picture up of a battle cruiser. Unfortunately, it was Russian.
Wow, that guy really did his research and homework, or was he just trying to insult people? I mean, because obviously that would be an insult. I mean, that would be like the Russians doing the same thing, putting one of our ships up. They'd probably put the guy in jail for life.
Well, maybe he just went on to Google, right, and just said, "Hey, Navy ship." It popped up. He copied it and threw it on. I guess it upset a lot of people.
Well, that would upset a lot of people, especially the Navy, I would think. Gee, Merry Christmas. My goodness.
Well, guess what? If you live in Hawaii, you better stop all that online dating, because the STD numbers in Hawaii have gone up drastically high, and they're blaming it on, well, online dating. It goes on, there's a lot more chance of getting infections and other stuff with a mate you know nothing about.
So when they're going online dating, they're going to get a lot more than just a computer virus. They're going to get some STD viruses. Well, here's the thing. That's not dating. That's like, they should be calling that computer hooking up or something. That's weird. That's strange. I couldn't imagine that.
I don't know, but again, Florida. What is it with Florida, guys? Come on. It's every night. There's more stories about strange, wacky, crazy news. It comes from Florida, and then Tennessee comes up, and then Arkansas. I don't understand. I'm sorry, people, but I'm only going by what is in the news. A Florida woman needed surgery after a waiter put liquid nitrogen in her drink, and it froze her eyes.
She's lucky to be a lot. Liquid nitrogen, it's like 300 degrees below zero. I mean, you ever see a rose dipped in it? It shatters when you. Yeah, she's lucky to be alive. That guy ought to be put in jail. I mean, that's almost attempted murder, I would think. Jeez.
Yeah, you know how cold that is. I mean, you get that even near your face, and it's going to freeze something. In this case, it damaged your eyes. Well, you know what? In this one major grocery store in Illinois, caught on camera, they kept trying to figure out where all their cheese were going. No, not the guys that stole the $50,000 worth of cheese. They had a problem with rats. The only thing the rats would do in this grocery store was come and eat the cheese.
Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine seeing that report and then, you're a loyal shopper there and you're thinking, oh, boy, that would be awful. I'd be throwing my stuff out. I got to tell you about these little rats. They're pricks. I had a bunch of candy bars one time that my son from school was going to sell, and I left them in the garage overnight, and, the rats got in there, and there was probably 30 candy bars, in this box. Well, they didn't take one or two. Instead, what they do, they took a bite out of every one of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, I had to throw them all out. I was going to throw them all out anyway, but it was just the point of how they do things is just devious.
Okay, what is it today? Is something weird with the moon or something? Because now in New Jersey, a man was arrested for wanting to have sex with farm animals.
Oh, my goodness.
And when the police came to arrest him, he threatened violence, and he was handcuffed and taken away.
I wonder if he's from Norway. He wanted to have... So... I wonder, I kind of wonder, how did they get this scoop that he was having sex with animals? He's probably on Facebook advertising like that other guy the other day. Jeez.
Well, I guess, too, in Arkansas, a farmer kept refusing this guy. This guy kept coming up to this farmer and saying he wanted to have sex with their animals. And the guy, farmer, finally got so tired of it, he took revenge.
Uh-oh.
And he said, go ahead, have sex with the horse. He castrated the guy.
He did what?
Castrated him.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark.
On what? If he was castrated, depends. I mean, maybe they'll just call him Stumpy for the rest of his life.
Yeah, or pony boy or something. I'll tell you what, my goodness, the stuff oh boy, was there some kind of epidemic of this bestiality going around the world all of a sudden? Wow, I didn't realize.
I'm reading it off of Reddit, and they're famous.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Would is it fake news? I don't know, but it's news, and I'm reading it.
Oh, I don't. I actually believe it. I believe it, 100%.
Well,
don't doubt it.
Your turn. You got a couple minutes here. I bought you some time.
Yeah, I got there was a homeowner. I don't know where it says he lives, but anyway, he comes home and his basement is filled with blood. Yeah, blood. So what had happened, I guess they did a lot of research here. There's a slaughterhouse nearby, and all the blood that was draining from the slaughterhouse, somehow that broke a line somewhere, and it came in his basement and filled his basement up with blood. Could you imagine coming home and your basement filled up with blood? Wouldn't you have the first thoughts of what kind of horror movie did I just walk into?
I would be kind of upset, if anything.
Yeah, I guess you would be. That would be bizarre to see your whole basement full of blood. You know, you leave for the day, you come home, and then your basement's full of blood. Like, what is going on? Also, did you see the story about a Dutch family that been isolated for 9 years on a farm?
No.
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. I guess they thought the apocalypse was coming or something like that, so they just kind of like went off the grid and isolated themselves. I think it was in the Netherlands, and they didn't leave. There was the father and 5 children in a small village of Runerworld, and I guess they were just discovered, but they've been there for, it says 9 years. 9 years isolated.
Really? Well, you know what? I got a couple more things, okay? Homeowners come home to find a naked man singing in the kitchen, cleaning the kitchen, and drinking milk.
Oh, boy, I'm not going to ask what state, and I got a feeling that this guy obviously was on drugs or alcohol because, or, I don't know, to go in somebody else's house and make yourself comfortable and drink their milk, and, oh, by the way, I'm just going to walk around naked.
Well, they got their kitchen cleaned.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? They got their kitchen clean, but I don't know. If I come home and even my kitchen was clean, I seen a naked man, I'd think I'd have to clean it again. I don't know. I just would.
With bleach. But you know what? A 123-year-old monk has a secret to live long and healthy life. His secret is to have absolutely no sex in your life and do lots of yoga.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. That's dedication. He's 120 years old, no sex, and
123 years old.
123 and no sex and no yoga. That is dedication right there. My goodness. I obviously it must work because he's 123 years old. You suppose if he ever had sex, he'd probably die on the spot of a heart attack.
He probably would die of a heart attack. He probably would have died at 70 years old with a heart attack. But I don't know. I don't think I could go 123 years without having some type of sex. And you know what? In North Carolina, a man sues his ex-wife's lover under the home wreckers law, and he wins. The court grants him $750,000.
Oh my goodness, that is what a windfall! Wow, I couldn't imagine coming across something like that over something stupid.
And in only in Germany, a German bank robber, right, is being sentenced in court. And you know how after before they sentence you, you have your right to make a statement.
Yeah.
This guy did a 20-hour-long court rant.
20 hours?
Yes, and then finally, after 20 hours, the judge cuts him off and then, sentenced him to prison. I would think after 20 hours of going on, that's almost 24 hours nonstop. How could somebody go on for 24 hours and say why they shouldn't be going to prison? Well, you know what? He probably got a bigger term of a prison time for doing that. Yeah,
that's what you call desperation and just talking nonsense to prolong the inevitable. Because come on, I'm surprised they let him go that long. Because I don't think around here if you went up more than 2 or 3 hours, or I don't even think you get that far. They'd be like, "We heard enough of your blah blah blah. Take him away," But I guess they got patience there in Germany today. Wow.
I don't think his judges around here would, allow you to talk more than probably 20 minutes, and then they'd have you hauled off. 20 hours. Could you imagine? And the judge and everybody, the jury, the judge, and all that have to stay there while he was going on. I mean, 20 hours of just whatever. I just can't believe it, but I guess.
I guess so. Speaking of burglaries, here's a little one that was kind of funny. He's called the polite burglar. He got caught because he goes into the family's garage. It shows him there on his own camera. He wipes his feet, takes his shoes off. He goes in, robs the place, comes back out. He locks up behind him, puts his shoes back on, and leaves. But they got it all on video. And that was in Wisconsin.
Well, why don't me and you go to some weekend to Minnesota? You know what? In one of the breweries in Minnesota, they came out with a new type of beer, and it's really, I guess, tastes good. It's made with Tang. It's called Tang beer.
Oh, boy, I got to tell you something. I don't like Tang as Tang, much less put it in beer. That would just be worse. Oh, my goodness. Do you ever drink Tang?
I used to, and you know what? It's better than nothing, but I mean, it really didn't have much of a good flavor to it. I don't want to get sued. It's great. It's great tasting.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But I couldn't imagine putting it in beer. That just don't sound like it would go good together. But you know what? These days, when I grew up drinking beer, beer was beer. You have lagers and beer. Now they've got beer. They've I don't know. They're putting dresses on beers and making them lemony and orangey and all kind of fruity stuff. To me, that's not beer. That's just, I don't know what that is.
Well, I had that fake margarita the other night, and it was, it's 8% alcohol, but it's made by, beer, the same stuff beer is, but they give it the flavor like, it tasted almost like a real margarita minus the salt. A Utah woman was charged and arrested for being topless in her own home.
What does she stand in front of a big picture window, I wonder? Or something?
It doesn't say, but I'd probably, I guess. Why can't you walk around naked in your own house? Why do you have to draw the curtains?
I know. Now I do because you tell me to.
Well, I'm so glad that you, at least taken my advice. Why don't you go get an alligator and give it beer and get it drunk like the guy did last night?
Yeah, Tang beer. Tang beer. Give it some Tang beer. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. I couldn't imagine. Feeding an alligator beer, first of all, when anything you do with alligators, you're playing around with them, especially in the wild. Yeah, I mean, you're just asking for it. Now, to get it drunk or to try to get it drunk, you're just really putting gas on the fire. I'll tell you what. I couldn't imagine doing that.
Only in Florida again. This is my last news one, okay? My last crazy news. Okay, this guy's getting ready to go into a porta potty. Could you imagine he opens the door, it go into the porta potty. He sits down, and it blows up.
Oh, Lord. I wonder what caused that.
Somebody must have ate a lot of chili before him or something. I have no idea. But, I guess he sat down and the whole thing, like the door blew off and everything. There's pictures of it.
Oh, my goodness. That would be dangerous. Lucky you didn't blow him up into pieces or blow his leg off or something. My goodness.
Maybe they weren't keeping the porta potty emptied enough and the methane gas from, all the poo-poo. And he probably got his old cigar out while he was sitting there reading the newspaper. He lit it, and it blew up.
That could happen. I seen a news report the other day. Somebody, I think it was Florida, matter of fact, they go in to use their bathroom, and they put the lid up, and lo and behold, what's in the toilet? A snake.
Ooh.
Yes, a snake. And here's the thing. It wasn't just any snake. It was a rattlesnake. And, any rattlesnake, it could be a baby one. They bite you. They can be deadly,
They are deadly. So, if you're allergic to them, they'll kill you. If you're not allergic to them, you're going to get really sick. And then if you don't get help enough, you can even die.
or you could lose fingers and part of your arm or something. I mean, it's really potent stuff. And